こんにちは、ティラミスです。今日は単発実況ということで、この The First Tree というゲームをプレイしていきたいと思います。もともとこのゲームは去年リリースされて、UI とか一部の機能だけが日本語になっていたんですが、この度1月のアップデートですべて日本語化完了したということで、ずっと積みゲーになって手つかずのままだったんですが、ちょっとプレイしてみようかなと思っています。で、ゲームの主人公はこちらに出ているキツネですね。家族を探して旅するキツネが主人公で、それとパラレルな形で、一組のカップルのお話が、語られるゲームということでね、すごいグラフィックも音楽も魅力的な感じで、早速プレイしていきたいと思います。では、新しいゲーム。
Are you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. You should get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
All right.
早速、一人大自然の中に放り出されました。とりあえず探索してみましょう。ジャンプとダッシュしたり歩いたりっていうのを切り替えれますね。おー、早く。おー、こう二段ジャンプみたいな感じができるね。わー、太陽が眩しい。この右側の上のとこには行けるんだろうか。お、音が変わった。あ、ちゃんとほら、向こう側に狐の影が映ってる。すごい。じゃあ、ちょっとどんどんこの太陽の方に向かって走ってみようかな。 わ、あ、あ、あ、キツネがいるよ。
So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected.
She
couldn't stay though. She had to find her other two children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers. Fox looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
The First Tree っていうのはつまりこう物事の起源となる木みたいなそういう意味なんかな。
Do you remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
もうなんかこの世界観が美しすぎてなんか実況の言葉が出てこないわ。さあこっちには何があるやろう。 またキラキラしているのが出てきた。お、季節が変わったね。何があるかな？
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom, so I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
これは何やろう？なんか見つけた。花火。反応はないけど、誰かが置いていったんかな？あー、落ちちゃった。蝶々がいっぱい飛んでる。まあいいや。次、あっちのインタラクトできるもののところへ行ってみよう。
He was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they'd come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while. The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings. A cop outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket into someone's yard. What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
あ、パトカーが止まってる。わあ、なんか、キツネが、キツネの周りに蝶々が。わあ。よし。そこは滝になってるみたい。違うんかな？光が反射してるだけかな？あ、向こう側にほんまの滝があった。わあ、すごい。向こうになんかあるよ。
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him, saying how I never wanted to be like him, how I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good. He just looked forward at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I had proved the ultimate point. But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but
It's hard to believe, isn't it? Surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, make this right to himself, more than to me.
ね、カセットのテープが飛び出しちゃってるけど、ちゃんと後で再生できたって。難しいな、遠いところにあるの。あの左側にもある。わあ、どんどん蝶々が増えていく。蝶々がいるともっと高く飛べるっていうことなのかな。よし、助走つけていくぞ。おー、すごい。さあ、また新しいところやってきました。
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
there's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
Hi. それではキリがいいので実況はここまでにしたいと思います。続きが気になる方はぜひご自身でプレイしてみてください。ご視聴ありがとうございました。ティラミスでした。